broken clock, there you go, is right, twice a day or whatever. So sit down. The Greens are right about something. Now, the federal government wants a $5 billion bill to go through, in part to create more social housing in Australia, but also to make sure that there's more private housing that rolls around as well. The Greens have got together with the coalition and said no for this going through. Why? Their view is that it's not enough. There's different reasons why the Liberal Party's not for it, including what Claire Chandler had to say tonight.
What the Greens want is $5 billion invested every year, indexed to inflation, in social and affordable housing from the federal government. That is an incredibly reasonable sum of money and, frankly, won't go the entire way that we need to fix the housing crisis, but we think this is a reasonable place to start.
The housing bill, as it stands, is only going to make the housing crisis worse, not better. So we're in a position, with balance of power, to negotiate strongly with the government to fix the flaws in these bills.
I love when they admit that they're the real ones in charge. But my point is this, apologies to Claire Chandler, we need to spend more money on social housing. There are tens of thousands of people that are waiting for public housing in any one state. There's a hope of 150,000 homes. That was the promise that was getting there with the federal government. Bronwyn, for why do you grimace? Because I think this is exactly why people pay taxes, is to make sure that people have houses and they don't live in poverty.
How many times have you heard Labor government say they're going to build houses and it doesn't happen? The federal government cannot build a single house any more than it can build a dam. All it can do is make a Section 96 grant and make that grant to the state government and say, please build some houses. They will then say, where are they going to be built? And all those nice greeny people will say, not in my backyard, thank you very much. Put it over near somebody else and away from us, thank you very much. And the argument will go on with council, so say yes, no, we've got an LEP. And the net result is, like in every instance, whether it's New Zealand, whether it's in Queensland, the houses don't get built.
But don't we?
So there has to be a better plan, and that setting up of that particular fund, all that's doing is pumping more money into the system to feed inflation. While no wonder you've got the poor old governor of the Reserve Bank saying that the government's got to do its fair share, because it's not. He knows he's the bully boy. They're going to beat him up anyway, and then he's not going to get reappointed. So he's the bogeyman, and you notice they say he's the independent one. He's the one where you can stick the pins in. We over here, we're the good guys. We're not doing anything wrong. Yes, they are.
Spending more than
they're spending more and feeding that inflation so that the pain that the poor old mortgage holders are feeling is all for naught.